I love it. But look, we have to move on real quick. We have one more thing we want to talk about. And I kind of think we're on the same page with it. But we want to come and ask you, thank you guys for paying attention and watching us and being with us. But look, we know what's going on. We know we have a quarterback situation, maybe controversy, maybe not really. I don't know. Carson Wentz is healthy and ready. He's back. He can come back and play. But Taylor Heineke is on a roll. He is 5-1-1 over his first 7 starts this year, which is remarkably better than what he did a year ago. He looks better. He's knows the offense, but I don't think this is a skill versus skill matchup. I think this is a chemistry and energy compared to skill. We know Carson is better as far as talent-wise. We know he could throw farther and stronger. We know size, all that stuff. But you got a guy over here in Taylor that you fit him in. He has the energy. He has guys believing in him. You mentioned Jonathan Allen, saying he has, balls. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he said I don't know if you saw this. There's a picture in Jonathan Allen's locker, and it's of Tim holding Taylor, like his head, and he just holding him close, like, I love you. And he says his favorite picture. Like, he resonates with the guys. He connects with them. In my opinion, you had to be a damn fool to take him out right now. He's the guy. Like, we're not asking if he's the better one talent-wise. We're not asking if he's potentially the one going down the road. As far as this season, as far as right now, when you go to the dance, you dance with the one who brought you. And I think we got to stick with him. What you think, man?
Yeah.
I know you don't like it.
I know. I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really wish we might need to do this. We need to go back to a year ago, because a year ago, this man is just like, yes, this is it. This is the guy. Sign him. And we're kind of like, yeah. Now the roles have reversed.
They totally have. They totally have. And what y'all don't know is, Sean gets to hear my inner thoughts when I text him during the game saying, I'm done with this. I want an actual NFL quarterback, and this isn't it. It is. I mean, from a team standpoint, like, this is a bigger question on podcasts and sports talk radio than it is the team. Okay, you can't make a change. You would have. He would lose the locker room. And Ron knows that. He knows he's handcuffed. He's stuck. I guess my thing is, like, we throw for 150 yards out of our quarterback. Like, we have to play a perfect game with him. That's what has me frustrated. And in this game against the Giants, we didn't play a perfect game. We can't overcome penalties. And look what happens. We can't win when we have penalties because we don't have the offense to overcome it. And that's what we saw there. It's like, so he can only take you so far. So my thing is, like, if he can only take me so far, and we know we're not going to win the Super Bowl with this, man, throw me Carson Wentz in there next Sunday night. Let me find out, because I've got $28 million of reasons as to why I need to figure out, is this guy going to be on this team next year? Because and part of it is, and I'm solo on this, I'm on an island on this, is I feel like we didn't use Carson correctly. We had this big-armed quarterback, and we called plays that didn't fit with it. Or we found out, oh, my gosh, our offensive line is terrible at pass protection. But we're running long, developing routes that don't give him a chance. But I also will say, while I'm like, hey, this offense isn't cutting it with Taylor, let's put in somebody else. While we have a better running game, we have a much better running game, so it could buy him some time. Carson's lost his ability to be elusive.
Yep.
And because of that, I don't think he's going to be better for this offensive line. I don't think this offensive line has done much to get all that better to say, well, they can give him some time so he can throw the ball. So you're kind of stuck having to go back to Heineke with this. You have to stick with him. Like you said, you dance with the one that brought you there. You got to do it. What do you think we do long term?
That's
Like if you, because of the locker room situation, do you go into next year with Heineke and Howell? Do you entertain someone like Jimmy Garoppolo?
See, well, here's the thing. Here's my thing. We came into this year's draft saying we cannot go and get another linebacker because we thought coming into this year that we had busted with Jamin Davis on that. I kind of look at this in the same way where the last 2 years we've gone out in free agency and picked up a quarterback. Each of the 2 years they've gotten hurt. Taylor has come in. He's been consistent. The guys that are still been on the team have shown their feelings. They're in their allegiance to Taylor. You mentioned it a minute ago when you're talking about Taylor or talking about Carson and him not having his elusive ability anymore. He's not being able to really get out of there. And it's funny because when Taylor scrambles, it's like, what's about to happen? What is he gonna do? When Carson scrambles, it's like, don't mess up. And I feel like that's what they're thinking. I feel like Taylor's like, okay, here we go. I'm about to make this play. I'm about to do this. And Carson's like, oh my God. Okay. Just get it to him. And I don't, maybe that's the play calling. Maybe that's just the confidence has been forever rattled from, the things that's happened in his career, but it's just something that's just is not right up there. It was talked about. Shout out to our guy, Nick. He talked about it coming into this year, but I think when you're talking about going forward, at this particular point, I'm just done out here searching for quarterbacks, trying to find a fix to the issue. We have a solid D line, which we've talked about in the last 3 years as being one of that's the heart. Let's build around that. We've started to get depth. Let's get Chase healthy. Boom, boom. Let's go to the defense. Let's build the team. Just like you said, Ron said, let's get here and say, this is our guy. We've tried twice to get another guy. It has not worked out. We're going to stick with him. I mean, even have a QB conversation with him and Howell, see what goes on with that. But we're going to go with him, but we're going to build. Put money. That's why shout out to Nathan on his mock draft. He had us picking up Paris Johnson from Ohio State, the lineman. I think he might be a tackle. He had us picking him up in the draft at 18. So let's solidify that line, solidify that depth on defense. Maybe like you talk, get a big name quarter, maybe a solid linebacker later down in the draft. I've seen a number of guys that we've looked at. The guy from Montana State, Trey Anderson, where he was with Atlanta. I saw him when we played. I saw a guy just a week ago. Some of the guys that we looked at in the draft from a year ago. Let's pick up depth. Let's pick up defense. Let's pick up pieces and let them all build, just gel in with Taylor and let's run with it for next year. I don't think Taylor is going to be able to, and even still, it's still going to be the team that's going to succeed around Taylor. He's going to be the energy in that. I don't know if Taylor can be it going forward next 4 or 5 years. And to be quite honest with you, the last 2 years, he's technically come off the bench. He was the backup when Fitz got hurt, and he was the backup when Wentz got hurt. So I don't know if he can be the guy coming in as your number one. Maybe his whole excitement about him is coming in off the bench. So, I mean, that's where it's kind of so going long term as in a year, yes, next year, but just to build up the team. But long term, as in like 3-4 years down the line, we got to look for somewhere. But at that point, I also want to know what we have in Howell. So next year is really us finding out that, and 2024 is where, I'm potentially a Caleb Williams or somebody that we could pick up in the draft.
Right. I don't know how many more games I can take where our quarterback throws for 150, 175 yards tops. Let's think about it from let's go back to the beginning of the season. Way too many sacks by Carson Wentz, but a 75-yard bomb to De'Ami Brown.
True.
He outthrew the defense.
Yeah.
A bomb to Terry McLaurin against Jacksonville. A beautiful strike there. The touchdown pass to Jahan Dotson. I just feel like that has to be a part of your repertoire in an offense. And Heineke just doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, we talk about what he misses out there. I don't know he can ever get to that accuracy standpoint
Right.
to still hit the mid-range stuff enough, because he's not going to have the deep ball. So it's like, so I don't know, like to the point where like if it's going to be Heineke next year for 17 games, give me another free agent who can do this. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and see again, but there's so much that we need that has to assist, because you're absolutely right that those bowls early in the year, even in the second half of the Lions game, they were beautiful. Yeah. I mean, he was dropping some dimes and some 30, 40 yarders to Samuel, to Jahan Dotson, McLaurin, and that looked great. The problem is that first half, he couldn't get the daggone pass off because he was on his back the whole daggone time. So, and it's like we said, his mobility isn't what it used to be, or at least he's not able to get out of there quick enough. I love that deep ball. I love going deep, all that stuff, but it's just, I just don't know if it's going to be able to work with this team. And then if we do end up getting rid of him, and then we can recoup that $28 million, where can we put that? That's kind of where I'm thinking, where it's like, because we still have Heineke for cheap. So let's put this money in, a couple other places, build up, give it to a point where it's like, all right, Heineke, this is what you wanted. It's yours. Let's see what you can do. Go forward. But still, we're building. We're getting guys. We're getting paid Deron Payne. We paid Jonathan Allen. We're going to have to pay Chase in a while. And this injury issue might help us a little bit in that. You know what I mean? So let's start to get some guys under contract, get some guys in, and let's rock and roll with Heineke. I don't want to keep him as far as he's not my guy. Like, yes, I wanted to draft him out. No, I would love to see Sam Howell, but I want to build up the team. If this is the way to do it, let's go. Let's do that.
Right. Well, I mean, you bring up a great point. Not having that, and I think his contract, Carson's contract would even go up to $35 million next year, which is, just too much. And we got to use him on others. We've had two free agents that we brought in, and you're correct. When he's played better, he's also been in this offense for 4 years, and we've had guys come in off the street, but who have both struggled to kind of pick it up. They said that about Carson Wentz. The reason why Carson Wentz is not coming back in is because he didn't pick up the offense all that well, to the point where he didn't lose his job because of injury. He lost his job because of injury and ineffective play out there. And so I think that is important. And just like you said, this team is built to where they need somebody who can scramble. The NFL is built these days to where you need to be able to not just buy time with your legs, you need to be able to make plays. I actually thought Daniel Jones was semi-impressive. Now, he's always impressive against us, but out there, I'm like, I think he looked better than Heineke out there, the way he was playing. He's faster as a runner. And I thought his throws, like, I didn't go every time he threw the ball, and the defender were nearby. He's got some more zip on it. So it's like, I mean, that's kind of the NFL prototype anyway. So I don't want 150 yards, 175 yards a game as a tops. I'm sick of this offense throwing the ball 15 yards downfield.
I get it. It ain't pretty. But
it ain't pretty.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works.
It is. I know, but it's so boring. But I will say this: I get hyped right before every single game. I'm like, let's go, Heineke. Let's go, TH.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. You might as well just give me a shot, because this guy just jacks me up. Even times where I'm like, man, I don't care. I'm not gonna. And I just see him get. And I'm like, let's go. All right, I'm ready. All right, I'll be in the game.
And then by the third quarter, I'm texting you going, man, I'm so sick of this guy. He can't throw the ball down the field.
Because then he gets that look on his face and he throws it. He's like, and walks up like, no, that's your fault. Get out of here.
Make that throw.
Come on.
You're a professional.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Yo, that is our talk. Let us know your thoughts. Who do you think should be QB in Washington, Heineke or Carson Wentz? Oh, we got Nicole in here. Good to have players that create momentum. Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right, and he does that.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.